What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about how to distribute your stats as a gunslinger, and I'm also going to show you how to reset them. So first things first, how do you even reset your stats? On China, currently it's free to do up to a certain level. On our client, you need a certain item. So as you're leveling up, you'll receive some of these. It says Cleansing Newbie. These things will reset your stat points for free as many times as you want. Now, you only get a couple while leveling up, so the question is, where do you get more? Well, I'll show you. I'm in Sulan. There's a couple different vendors. This is the easiest one to get to. You can see where I am on the map. Coordinates around, I don't know, 5,500, 1578. You just go to Sulan, come up the bridge is right there, come up the left side. And right here, we have the Sulan General Store. The UI bug. It's blank, but there is cleansing newbies there, and they only cost 100 of these gift notes. So you can buy as many as you want, reset your stat points over and over and over again. So, on to the main event. How do you distribute your stat points as a gunslinger? Well, looking at my current stat points might seem a little odd or off, or who knows, maybe you're on the right track. So this is how I'm currently resetting my stat points, and it seems to be working the best for me. So if you hit this button right here, you can pull out this graph over here, which gives you kind of like an overview of your survival, defense, attack power, things like that. What I do when I'm trying to distribute my stat points is, personally, I like playing a full glass cannon, as much damage as I can build, like when I play any character. So I personally tend to not put any points into spirit or physique. I mainly put my points into damage. Now, you can put your points in spirit and physique if you feel you're too squishy, or if you're doing harder content, or if you're like, going solo in PvP, trying to run around and pick people off, and you need a little more tankiness to take on fights. You can put points in spirit, you can put points in physique, and or like 3-star God mode. I did that last night. I put 20 points in each roughly, which was just enough at my gear level to not get one shot by anything. So yeah, that's kind of a personal choice. But what I'm going to talk about is how to get the most damage out of your stat points. So let's go ahead and reset, and I'll show you. So you just click this. Stat points are completely reset. Now when I start, what I do is I put all my points into Dex to start with. And then I'm going to subtract points from Dex into Strength. What we're looking for is, you can see the attack number in the top right is slowly climbing as I'm putting points into Dex. So you don't have to put the points in, check the number, reset, do it over and over. You can see what the attack is at right now. So we can see we got to 9226. Okay. Now before we continue, there's one thing to note. Dexterity gives you a couple things actually. 1 crit per point, 0.5 points of physical damage per point, and every 10 points you get 4 force. Now this is the most important one right here. Every 10 points, what that means is your dexterity stat, every time it equals a number divisible by 10, you gain 4 more points of force, which is a physical damage percent increase. So what that means is, if you get to say like 150, 160, 170, those breakpoints will get you extra damage. Then climbing up, so going from 170 to 171, 172, 173, it will get you a little bit more damage, but those points are better spent in strength. Now, the other thing to note is this number over here on the right. This is my dexterity from my gear that I have equipped. So you need to add both of these numbers together when you're trying to calculate the tens place. So what this means is 22, I need an 8 in this column. So this is equal to 200, right? So 178 plus 22 equals 200. That 200, that number, those two added together need to be divisible by 10. That's 99% of the time is going to get you your highest output. So this is more for like higher level. That'll generally be the case. When you're lower level though, which most people will be, what you want to do is you want to put all your points into dex to start out with, and then any leftovers you have, put them into strength. Now what you're going to do is you're going to look at this attack number right here, and you're going to try to get it as high as possible. It's super simple. This is all you do. Take a point out of dex, put it all into strength that you just took out. And now you can see this attack number went up, right? So that's it. That's all you do is you just take the point out, put the points in, numbers higher, and you just check each time you do it. Take a point out, put the points in, numbers higher, point out, points in, and you just keep doing that until you find this highest number. Now, if you watch, I can't show you on my gear currently, but you could. So you can see it keeps going up. I know this is where I'm at currently for my damage break point. But make sure when you're lower level and you have less dex on gear and you're still leveling up, you'll get more damage from more strength as you're leveling up. Right now my strength to dex ratio, my strength is pretty low compared to how much dex I'm putting in. But when you're leveling up and stuff, or you're lower level, or you have lower gear values than me, you'll be putting more strength in, because strength gives you 1 physical damage per, while dex only gives you 0.5 physical damage per. And while you're leveling and stuff, crit isn't as important when you're lower gears. Crit is a secondary stat. Getting raw physical damage is where most of your damage will be coming from until you get, much more well-rounded gear. So even if you like top out here, when I take this point out, this will actually go down instead of up. And then I'd put these in. Now, just because this is lower, what you should do is you should go down 10 more and check. So if we go all the way down 10 more, then we put all these points in, we can check 9505. And then we pull these points out, go back up 10. Well, it's gonna take a few points. And now I'm at 9512. So just make sure you double check. Just because you see a high number, take the time, check, see if you can go lower and get more points out of it or what. And I hit OK, and it distributes the points. Now, I happen to have 4 leftover points. I know personally that I have a lot of physical defense and not very much magic defense. So I just throw these extra leftover points into Spirit. Now remember, Spirit and Physique also work the same as Dex. Every 10 points you put into them, you get a big bump in magic defense or physical defense. So I see that I have 11 Spirit here and 21 Physique here. And I have 4 leftover points. So I know there's no way for me to reach a 10 in either of them. So I'm just going to throw these extra ones in Spirit. Intelligence does nothing for us, so you completely ignore that. But I know my magic defense is a little bit lower, so I'll get a little more out of it. And also this gives me some max mana and a little bit HP recovery. So I decided to just throw those couple extras in there. And then that's it. It's just that simple. You're really just looking to try to get this attack number as high as possible. And distribute your points. Just double check. It's different for everyone. Everyone has a different amount of potential points depending on what level you are, or if you've done cutscenes and all that stuff. So it's personal for you. There's no 2-to-1, 1-to-1 ratio. I know a lot of people have asked me about that. I apologize. It's not as straightforward as that. The rules to remember are keep dex in an interval of 10 and get your attack as high as possible. And that's it. So yeah. If you guys have any questions, as usual, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have any comments on what I might have done wrong or a better way to go about it, also please let me know. I'm still learning as much as I can. I didn't play like a ton on the China server. I only played a little bit to learn the class. So if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. Or if you have any questions just in general about the game, I'm starting to learn how to gear and stuff like that. Make sure you let me know. I have a forum. On the forums, I have a post if you want to go over there, ask your questions there, or as usual, come on over to the stream on Twitch, Karth_WS. I'll put that down below. Ask me live. That's much easier if you ask me on my stream, because it's much easier to answer and show in game. So yeah, if that's it, if you don't have any questions, I'll see you guys later.